I want my F1 drivers to be international playboys, driving balls to the wall, brave, committed drivers.
Going to private islands.
Yeah,
maybe
not. Just unlike your normal human being.
Yeah.
They're a cut above. I don't want them like every other schmuck in his bedroom playing computer games.
Exactly.
Hello there, and welcome back to the Zero Credentials F1 podcast. Nelly, we are on to season 2.
Wow.
We've lasted almost the whole season, and we're
Who
back.
the flip are you? I haven't seen you in months. What's this? Where am I? Well, I've been in hibernation, so we're back
Been
on
a barren period, hasn't it?
Oh.
I've been forced to watch football.
Premier League or lower leagues?
Oh, well, a bit of both because we're Borough fans, aren't we? But,
We're Borough fans. We're doing well.
We've got Formula 1 to talk about again because we are back into testing, a behind-the-scenes testing. We've got Drive to Survive coming up. We've got more testing next week in Bahrain. So we're starting to get an idea of what's going to happen. We're going to do some predictions as well. So we would love it if you were to come along with us for season 2 of the Zero Credentials F1 podcast. Let's go. I'm excited, mate. I'm excited.
It's coming, isn't it? It's coming soon.
Yeah. Let's kill the music and we'll crack on with this.
Such a geek. I've got a widget on my phone that tells me that there are only 38 days and 7 hours left till the next Grand Prix.
Nice. Does it give you the seconds as well?
It does. It breaks it down. Because with all these international races that we have, I always get lost with the time difference and everything else, and it tells me at my local time how far away it is.
Yeah.
So even on a weekend when I don't know what time anything starts, I can just look at that and know, all right, I've got an hour to go. So get rid of anybody else that I love in my life and crawl into a basement to be alone with myself to watch F1.
So for the first race in Australia, it's at 4 a.m. UK time.
I'm going to do it though. I'm going to do it.
But are you going to stay up or are you going to get up?
I don't know.
Because it's going to be...
So this could kill me. This could really... I do have a live recording function, maybe first thing in the morning. I'll get off like 7 bells or something and get straight on it. Because my wife absolutely tortures me because if I can't watch the race live, I have to shut down all forms of media. Wherever I am,
just all forms of communication.
It ruins me. It absolutely ruins me. We go in the car in absolute silence because I can't even... If a news warning will come on and interrupt everything, I know it'll tell me. And I've caught myself out a few times where I've turned it on and like the ticket banner on the news or something like that has told me he's one. I'm like, oh, fucking Jesus Christ. Yeah. And I'm like, that's it, weekend ruined.
It has to be, on the few occasions that I do that, it has to be absolute silence. Yeah. Because if my wife's looked online and she's seen the result, there've been times in the past where she's gone, oh no, I know the result. And I'm thinking, well, it can't be that exciting then. Like if there's almost no reaction from you other than I know the result. Like it must be just a run-of-the-mill race coming up.
In fact, knowing my wife knowing how much that she knows how much I need to watch it in a semi-live fashion, or at least live to me, will almost threaten me with it. Threaten to spoiler alert me if I'm not a good boy and do precisely the tasks that she's given me for that moment
before
in time.
You watch it.
Yeah, not having it. But it's coming. I'm excited.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. My excitement has only just recently started to build, just for the joy of Formula 1 being back and seeing the sort of drivers start talking about it and things, and just because it's a fantastic sport. But I had some serious reservations over the winter. I mean, it's still winter, but over sort of late December, January time, where I've just read a few things that are talking about battery-powered overtakes and weird-looking racing. I think it was Andrea Stella saying the racing might look weird.
Yeah.
I'm concerned. I am.
I'm worried. I'm worried because there's too many variables, too many unknowns at this stage, and the tech that they're talking about distorts the race by definition, and they'll only have so much battery pack, and they'll only have so many times to push to pass or whatever it is, like the Indy stuff. And I think we said in some messages between us that like I just want the fastest racer to win in the best car, and and like I want them to go full send from start to finish. I don't want them to be managing anything. That destroys my buzz.
I want my F1 drivers to be international playboys, driving balls to the wall, brave, committed drivers.
Going to private islands.
Yeah,
no, maybe not.
Just unlike your normal human being.
Yeah.
They're a cut above. I don't want them like every other schmuck in his bedroom playing computer games.
Exactly.
Because
exactly.
I think there's a risk of it becoming that, where people that can press the right buttons at the right time, that's going to be more effective than having an eye for an apex and the balls to send it down the inside. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
if there's any organisation on planet Earth that, in the pursuit of excellence and entertainment, can completely fuck up the entire show, it's the FIA. So I'm completely open-minded with this one. I think there's going to be some frustrating things, but like anything, I think after 3 or 4 races, things will settle down into a way that the drivers will understand it and they'll understand how to race each other's with it. So I still think, you know, your core F1 fan will still be entertained. But I'm also
if I'd been more prepared, I would have brought the graphic that I think I sent to you in the winter as well. There was a graphic that the FIA released to try and rephrase the language when in respect of talking about the battery. I really don't want graphics about batteries on the screen and battery chat. Yeah. It's going to be proper shit if that happens all the time. However, go on, you were going to go with a however first. You do your but first.
But the little snippets I've seen, the cars that I have seen in the practice sessions so far, they look nice and tight and compact. I like the way that I didn't realise how big the previous generations of cars were. And it doesn't sound much on paper, but they look nice and snug and tight again. Actually seeing those dynamic front and rear wings doesn't worry me too much, because I think that'll work pretty well. But yeah, anything if they fix anything like the processionary racing that we've had at some races in the past, then I'll give it the benefit of the doubt until I'm completely furious and frustrated by it.
Yeah, me too. I think with the active aero, though, we're kind of used to DRS, aren't we? And I don't think they're necessarily now. I don't think the active aero is necessarily an overtaking tool, is it? No. Like it was before. I think that's just to generally reduce the drag on the straight for the sake.
And probably tyre management, because obviously when you've got the best grip in the corners or along the straight, then you are not stressing your tyres as much as you otherwise would be. So I'm excited. I'm excited by some of the things I see. Everyone seems to have gone in completely different philosophies with it. I mean, I'm really, really excited to see the Adrian Newey Aston Martin, because it seems that he's just completely put all of the doodles from his sketch pad all over that vehicle. That looks like it's got every single accoutrement that you could possibly have on an F1 car.
They're at the behest of Honda, though, aren't they, at the moment, whether they've got an engine that works? Because I think I was reading the other day that Honda kind of started late in development of this engine compared to the other manufacturers. So I reckon I'd be surprised if Aston Martin were running at the front this season. I think that might be something towards maybe the end of the season or next season where they're a bit strong because of
when you've got Newey in your back pocket.
Exactly.
I
agree with you though. I think the cars look way better, and it's subtle differences, isn't it? It's nothing too drastic, but the slight. like the big end plates off the front wing are kind of gone, aren't they? It's all kind of, I think, by the looks of things, the front aero is now more important than it was last year. You've got the rake back on the car as well, where the kind of the nose is a lot lower than the back, and it looks aggressive. It looks more.
It looks like the pinnacle of motorsport. It's starting to look that way again, where there was just they're trying to get big ugly wings and all sorts of stuff.
And it's the last set of regulations started with all the porpoising as well, which was crazy.
Well, and this is my fear with the regulations, because even when they started with DRS, I'm sure that nobody had a little infographic on there saying, this is what we'll call a DRS train, when everyone gets stuck behind the guy in front and everyone else has got DRS and they're all stuck there. Because it's the law of unintended consequences, and there will be stuff that nobody's ever thought of, which could ultimately be damaging. But let's see. Let's give it a chance to fail first.
That's true about the DRS train. I hadn't actually considered that, because the overtake feature of the DRS meant everyone had it at the same time, didn't they?
Yeah.
Whereas I think more, like I said, the active aero is not necessarily an overtaking tool anymore. That's more with the battery, isn't it? That kind of overtake button on the battery.
The driver can sort of choose those terms as well.
Yeah, and it's more powerful, but that means they can do it all at different times. So that might actually, the concept of the DRS train might be, and happily be, a thing of the past, because it was terrible last year.
It depends how variable it is, because it says you can adjust, dynamic aero and all that. It says you can adjust it. Are there levels at which you can adjust it? So let's say somebody's coming into the first corner, they want a standard level of downforce on the front wing to get the car turned, and the person behind them, who's naturally going to suffer by having dirty air, could do a more aggressive angle on that wing, or the next level of that wing. But again, because they need that extra grip, because they're getting compromised by being behind somebody else. But there's plenty of places that this can go, and I'm sure the FIA will have shit the bed in some aspects. But let's see.
So we've just been through a week of behind the scenes testing that the teams all sort of wanted to do, rather than have it on the telly. But plenty of information seemed to come flooding out, I think possibly because things have gone reasonably well for a lot of the teams. I had a sense that a couple of weeks ago that Ferrari had a certain sense of confidence, because they invited the press down to their home base, didn't they? And did a little lap or two around their track. And I thought they wouldn't have done that if they weren't feeling good about things. And then we've gone to testing, 5 days of it last week, where each team could do 3 days worth if they wanted. And I've got a kind of thing.
There's
to
one
look
car,
at here.
although once wasn't it? They had to be shared between the drivers for each team.
I think so, yeah. So these are the fastest lap times in the testing. That obviously you can only read so much into testing times, and they've not all been posted on the same day. So I think the last...
Put that up again. Let the season finish now. The fanboy in me wants that.
The 1, 2, 3.
I'd love that.
The British 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I'd love that. It's
but
nice,
I mean,
though.
yeah, but I think, like I said, George Russell did his time on day 4, which I don't think was quite as good a conditions as day 5 was, I believe. But what I think is interesting from that is that it kind of suggests that the teams who were going to be towards the front of the grid are the same teams that were at the front of the grid last year.
Yeah, in broad terms, yeah.
McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull.
Yeah, I mean, you can't
Mercedes.
read too much into testing, because they sort of sandbag as much as they can. They know the data, because they...
Yeah, you also
95%
don't know. You also don't know what tires they were on, age of tires, fuel level, that kind of thing. So, but I imagine they would have been trying to get the best time they could have got.
Absolutely.
So I think it's not. It's obviously we can't read too much into it, but it's hard not to let it be a little bit indicative.
It's where you'd expect it to be. I mean, I'd like to have seen. I think Audi, they didn't get as many laps as they wanted to, did they? They didn't have a great run, certainly in the early.
No. Should we? Let's have a look.
Their car looks really good anyway, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the laps that they've done. So Mercedes have done 501 laps. They did the most, followed by Ferrari with 440. Haas put 391 laps in. That's
really good.
Considered a success for them. Alpine as well, which has the Mercedes engine now, I believe. 349. Racing Bulls have done 318. Red Bull are down at 305. I think partly because Isaac Hadjar binned it into the wall at one point in what sounded like it was a fairly reasonable impact. Then you've got McLaren at 290. Probably they would have hoped for more. Audi at 243. Cadillac at 164. Aston Martin down at 65. I think they only did one day, didn't they? And absent from that list is...
Let me see.
It's Williams.
Oh, because it is Williams. Bloody hell, yeah, they had a rotter.
Yeah, they've had a shocker.
James Vowles was... You could tell he was furious. He did the press piece and things, but...
Yeah, he's done a little YouTube video as well.
We clearly don't want to be here. Yeah, we clearly don't want to be here. This is not the plan. This is not what we wanted. Yeah, that was pretty messy because that puts you on... I mean, the margins are so tight, that puts you on the back foot probably all season now. Because the data that they would have yielded from those sessions are massively important.
I mean, that's when I was watching some of the coverage of the testing, that's kind of what they were saying, was that the data that they're gathering is just extraordinary. They're getting so much from it. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of laps for Mercedes and Ferrari, and we'll get on to predictions in a minute, but I think
Cadillac did as many laps as they could, but they had to stop and do a drive-by shooting. And I'll put the lowrider on and pump the suspension, get it up and down, like some gangster stuff. That's what they were doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think fair play to them. They've got the car out there. They've done some laps, and it's going to be interesting. I think come the first race, you're going to get a sense of what it's now like to have 22 cars on the grid, which I think is fun. That's definitely something extra spicy for this year.
I'm looking forward to Bottas and Checo coming back. I always got a soft spot for them too.
Yeah, big time. Now let's just have one more look at that list. Is there anything else that stands out to you there? I think Racing Bulls have obviously done well. I think the other thing with Red Bull and Racing Bulls is that engine seems to be working. It's a brand new engine that's a Ford, not a Ford. I think what my understanding is that the actual motor engine that burns fuel is made by Ford, and then the rest of it, the electric bits, are made by Red Bull directly. That is my understanding. Don't quote me on that, and I could be wrong, but
it's good to see Ford back in the sport. To be fair, it's good. It's like when Honda's not there, you want to see Honda back. When Ford's not there, you want to see the Cosworth engine of the 80s and 90s was just absolutely incredible. And
someone correct me in the comments if I've not got that right, but I haven't paid too much attention, if I'm honest.
I need to understand there are zero credentials. We haven't spouted credentials over the Christmas period. We're making this shit up as we go along, be under no illusion.
We've been really busy watching football. That's
in fact, yeah, this is shit. Zero goals. That's where we're going for
now. What I wanted to do as well, because we're kicking off season 2 today, I wanted to kick off the competition as well. Our Zero Credentials F1 Prediction Championship. And I thought we'd do it just by keeping it fairly simple so we don't manipulate the competition later in the season too much, to predict a driver's champion and a constructor's champion. And you get 5 points for each. So if you get it right at the end of the season, on the last day, you could take a sudden 10-point jump up the table. So there's a little bit of jeopardy there, a little bit of next goal the winner sort of thing, but it's not going to be too much.
So, our instant take on what we've seen so far and the noises we've heard around media.
So, I'd love it if you kicked us off with
so we're doing
predictions. Let me just bring it up. So we'll do your drivers first, and then we'll do your constructors.
So
who have you got for your drivers?
Well, I was last to discuss this when we were on the chat with me, you, and our champion whites, and astonished that neither of you actually referenced Max in there. So, given what Max can do and what he did do late last season, he doesn't need the best car under him, and he can still get the best out of it. So, I think in a circumstance where all the cars should be theoretically leveled, I can't see past Max because he is the best driver out there. So it's Max for me.
When you sent your prediction,
it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. Yeah.
When you sent your prediction through, and like you said, me and Whites had gone with other people, and then you just went Max. I was thinking, oh shit! Like you can't write Max Verstappen off like that. You just can't do it. Like, and it seemed like a really simple thing.
Yeah, well, we wrote him off halfway through the season. He was going to be third in the championship, and that was it. Maybe fourth because George was still doing a good job middle of the season. And with all the unknowns there, Max is the one who can wring the neck out of the worst of cars and make it work for him. So I'm delighted. I could. There's 5 points for this, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
It's all added at the end of the season.
You've gone for the best driver on the grid potentially, and I think that's
easy.
Constructors, then give us your constructors.
I've been watching a lot about this, and I'm pleased that they did as many did, but I think Mercedes are going to come with a special package. I think they've not been diminishing what they've done over the past couple of seasons, but I think they've saved as much resource, as much time, as much effort as they possibly can into the new regs. Because my main thought behind that, and it's something a few people have said online on YouTube and whatnot, is that there's only so many times as a manufacturer of an engine you can see one of your customers win the title. And I think, it's McLaren, the season just gone. But that's, that can be an aberration, that can be a one-off. But if that happens again this year, Mercedes are in embarrassment territory ever so slightly, and I'm sure they don't want to do that. And I think they've gone guns blaring at this season, and with the potent combination of George, I think that'll give him the title.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough, Shao. There's been kind of talk and noises and rumours for quite a while that the Mercedes power unit was some way ahead of others, as it was back when the sort of turbo hybrid era started. I think you've got a pretty good shout there. Really good. I'm going to go with my drivers because I've known this for quite a while now to be true, and that is going to be George Russell. Partly for the
2026, the year of George Russell, 2026.
Yeah, absolutely. Partly for the same reason that you've said. I think that Mercedes, like I said, there's rumours going around anyway, but then we've seen the testing this week, and yeah, I just think George Russell is going to be right up there. He's the kind of time has come, if you know what I mean. It's the things have fallen into place for him. He got the seat with Lewis. Lewis left. He became number one. That season's gone by. We've got a new car. George Russell's at the top of his game. I think it's going to be his year. I actually think he's one of the best drivers on the grid.
Agreed.
I think he's one of maybe one or two that can actually take it wheel to wheel with Max Verstappen, and has proven that he can get the better of him. He gets Max wound up until Max drives it in the side of him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think, and he's proven
he doesn't get intimidated in the same way as Lando.
And he's proven it time and time again that he's happy to go wheel to wheel, and he's reasonably aggressive as well. One concern I do have is that he's going to get Damon Hilled, and that Mercedes is going to be a super strong car. He's going to win the championship, and then he's going to get binned off because Max Verstappen's going to come in, and they don't want to get rid of Antonelli, and because they're not going to want two champions in the same team.
Well, Antonelli
again.
needs a season, though. Can you imagine them together? Yeah, they won't want 2 champions. You're right. But so are you saying it's a now or never? Because we said it was now or never for Lando last year, didn't we?
Not necessarily, because I think there'd be still good teams wanting to snap George up if he's a champion. But I mean, Damon Hill couldn't get a drive necessarily. Right. He ended up in Jordan, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that's my only concern with George Russell. With the constructors, I'm going to go with Ferrari. Partly out of hope, because I think Formula One is better when Ferrari are up at the front pushing for wins.
True.
I also am a Lewis Hamilton fanboy, so I'm sort of G'd up with hope that he will win some races. My other concern, and the reason for this, is that I'm not fully confident in Kimi Antonelli. I don't know that he's there. I don't know that he's got it. He's yet to prove it to me. Like, he gives a shit.
He's not done it yet. He's not done it. You're right.
So, whereas I think if that Ferrari's good, you're going to have Lewis and Charles scoring a lot of points, winning races. So that is the reason I've gone for Ferrari. Plus, they're looking strong in the testing. That is,
they need to get on the podium more regularly this year. I'd be delighted to see that. I would be absolutely delighted. The sport is better, as you say.
And then I've got Weitz's prediction up here. I'll read what he said.
What does this schmuck know?
He's the current champion of Zero Credentials predictions. He said, "Yo, at this preliminary stage, my money's on the most polished face on the grid, George Russell." So he's gone with
he is beautiful, George.
Cappuccino latte drinking George Russell. He said, "The word from the simulator has been consistently positive, and that optimism seems to have translated onto the track during the shakedown, with George seemingly holding the internal edge over Kimi and currently sitting as the bookmaker's favourite. The momentum is firmly in his corner. The Constructor Championship, Mercedes. I'm doubling down," he says.
Wow.
For the Constructors title, for the same reasons that he mentioned above. The Silver Arrows look formidable. While I'm personally hoping for a closely contested season rather than another era of total dominance, all signs currently point towards a Brackley resurgence. And then he's given us a bonus prediction. Perhaps there's some big talk coming here. Perhaps my most confident prediction: Charles Leclerc will comfortably outpace Lewis Hamilton once again. If this trend continues, the hashtag Team LH faithful will have to finally retire the narrative that ground effect is the sole culprit for Hamilton's dip in form.
Oh,
so that is,
he loves a dig, doesn't he?
He does.
He loves a dig.
Some big boy talk some swagger from our current champion there.
I think I've just figured out his system though, because he said the bookie's favourite, so maybe that's who he goes with every single week in his predictions.
So yeah, maybe it is. He's using other people's data to make his
that's it. Cheating.
Predictions.
Let's call it what it is. It's cheating. The big asterisks after last year. Not even a full season, to be fair. We didn't even predict for the full season, so who knows would have won.
Yeah, that's true. We were like some big races not missing.
He won't like this. He will not like this. He's just going to double down on us and absolutely pound us into the ground points-wise.
So I think that's a good place to leave the first show. We'll be back next week, hopefully, with some more.
I've missed this.
I know, it's good, isn't it? We'll talk a bit more about some testing and all the news that's going on. If there's any breaking news, I think we should jump on as well and discuss it. Because we want to get past 1,000 subscribers this season, mate, don't we? We want to actually
it's going to happen.
Blast
that's the prediction.
Through it.
Yeah, that's it.
So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Whether you're on podcast or on YouTube, we do have a podcast. You can find it in all your usual places at Zero Credentials F1 Podcast. And we're pumped to be your race weekend companions for this season. So we'll see you again very, very soon. Bye for now.
2026, baby. Bye.